Hello everyone, today is March 31st. It is day 542 of the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. We still have 59 hostages there, 24 believed to be still alive, and this is the news for today. Yediot Achronot. We have two major ones that we're going to get into. First is Hayum Shel Trump, Trump's threat. Heskem o shenaftzitz et Iran, either a deal or we will bomb Iran. When Trump says that he's serious about something, I tend to believe him. Then we have another article here about reservists. Nilchamnu b'shvil hamedina, we fought for the country, v'lo natna lanu gav, and she didn't back us up or give us like backing. So we're going to get into all of this right now. I actually want to start with the caricature that I think is very, very telling. Here you can see Trump with an electric saw over the head of Khamenei, which is the supreme leader of Iran. And Khamenei is holding a sign that says, Ma'im hachatufim, what about the hostages? And if anyone thought that Trump was playing games, think again. It says here, Nasi Artzot Habrit, beyum dramati al Tehran, the President of the United States in a dramatic threat on Tehran. If Iran does not make a deal, she will be bombed. Since Donald Trump came into his presidency again, he is basically going to all these different countries trying to, end wars and make peace. Iran is a bit of a different story. They're not interested in any actual type of peace. And I think that they're showing that in the way that they sort of retaliate and threaten Israel and threaten the world. And so as a response to, Donald Trump and also Israel sort of showing their power, bringing their, I think, warships, and also just showing their hand that if Iran does attack, they will retaliate. Iran also showed that they will, retaliate. And so they basically published this video of a huge, almost underground city. You would call them tunnels, but it looks like an underground city, which is their nuclear plant, their nuclear labs, and huge rockets. Now, Israel has already been under attack of rockets, ballistic missiles from Iran, and so we know how that feels on that side, but they're getting dangerously close to sort of the point of no return, and I think the United States and Israel knows that, and so Israel is preparing, for an attack. And I can tell you as a citizen, in Israel, from a personal perspective, it almost feels like you're sort of just waiting, for something bad to happen. We already know that Iran has many proxies, in the Middle East, in the Arab countries surrounding Israel. And Israel has been in the last year and a half, and also, of course, before, fighting in all these different fronts. But this threat is very, very real. And so basically Trump is trying to force their hand, not only with, threatening them that they would be bombed, but also the secondary tariffs. And so if you are a praying person, please pray for this situation. If you knew that you had, a distant neighbor that has access to something that could quite literally destroy your whole nation and whole nations, I think that you probably would find it hard to sleep at night. But if you're a person of faith, we serve a great God, and this is not the first time that nations have tried to annihilate us and eliminate us. So please pray for this situation, and we'll continue to update you regarding this issue. And now a word about our reservists that have literally been under a few different deployments already, some of them serving hundreds of days, and they come back to their civilian life and realize and discover that they have been fired from their jobs after serving our country. It says here, Sochvim, makrivim, v'nish'arim levad. They carry, they sacrifice, they remain alone. It says here, Hakri'a shel hamiluimnikim sheputru, the outcry of the reservists that were fired, b'tzadat ha'alunkot misaviv lakneset, and their protest of alunkot is their gurneys, misaviv leknesset, around the Knesset. We have in Israel a phrase which basically means likanes mitachat la'alunka, to come under the gurney, which basically means to hold the weight of someone else. It's a sort of phrase that brings, in the idea of everyone together in the same spirit of service. And a lot of these reservists have been there for quite literally hundreds of days to discover that they don't have a job anymore. Here you have Sergeant Major Oriel Moran, who is 43. He was in reserves for 300 days, despite the fact that his age would allow him not to serve at all. And he was fired from his job at a high-tech company. He says, this coming deployment will affect my even ability to ask for a new job, to go and search for a new job. Here you have a sergeant in reserves, Gal Brenner. She is 27 years old, and she was 260 days in deployment. She was fired from her job as a security medic. She says that she feels that they were ungrateful and she feels disrespected. Here you have Sergeant Major in Reservist Dotan Shlomo, who is 39, 270 days in reserves, even though he was exempt from reserves, being a patient cancer in the past. He said that as long as he has the opportunity to serve his country, he will. He was fired from his job in installation, and he said, I expect from my country from the get-go to try and prevent cases like mine. I don't know what I would feel like if I was serving my country in deployment, also suffering from post-trauma in many of these cases, and then I come back to my life, and even that I don't have any stability to hold on to, which is exactly what Gal Brenner said. She said, I don't even have anything stable to hold on to in my civilian life when I come back to it. These reservists are calling for an equality in the burden. We call this shivyon b'netel. And I think what's really hard for them is that there is a part of the population of Israel, mainly Orthodox Jews, that do not serve in the army. They believe that they should sit and study the Torah, and that everyone who doesn't do that is basically abandoning God, and they're not actually truly serving the country. They believe that their prayers are what keep the country safe. And so it's a very hard thing for people to see also the protest of the Orthodox Jews that say we will die and not go into the army. But not all are like that. There are some that have decided that truly loving the Torah and serving God is actually to serve your country, and therefore they actually opened a unit that is specifically for Orthodox Jews called HaChashmonaim. But even in this sort of unit, some are complaining that they don't really truly understand what Orthodox Jews need in order to be able to serve inside the IDF in a way that sort of fits their religion. Integrating Orthodox Jews into a system that is mainly more secular than not poses a challenge. So again, if you're a praying person, that's something to keep in your prayers. And now to end with some good news. Israel is in bloom. It's springtime in Israel, and if you guys have ever been in Israel during springtime, you know how stunning it can be. It says here, Shte etzbaot mi Tel Aviv, 2 fingers away or just a step away from Tel Aviv. In these different places in the Megiddo area, you can find nature, food, wine, fun, and it's showing you all the different places that you can go just a step outside the city to basically reconnect with nature and see some beautiful views. It says here, Be'ezor Megiddo, in the Megiddo area, you'll find different types of flowers. You'll find green, lush views, with water. Here you can see that in this picture. You can also enjoy a lot of food, as you can see here at the Megiddo market and the farmers market. Fresh food, literally right from farm to table, and also rivers and streams. You have here Nachal HaShofet, a really beautiful river that is actually very liked amongst a lot of travelers. And you can also do cooking lessons in different places, like these people are doing at Enat Erez. And so I think Israelis have been looking for a place to go which they can see some nature, eat some good food, and just smell the fresh air, because it's quite exhausting to live in a war zone for so long. And thank God Israel really does provide that kind of beautiful scenery. And we'll end with this beautiful field of sunflowers that really does give you guys a little glimpse of how beautiful Israel is. So if you're traveling in Israel during spring, look this up in the Megiddo area. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you. Please continue to keep Israel in your prayers. If you want more Israel-related content, go to allisrael.com, hit the notification bell, hit subscribe, and also comment down below where you're watching us from. We appreciate you guys so much, and we will see you guys in the next one.